On March 14th, 1879, an unusual baby was born to a family in Ulm, Germany. For starters, he had an unusually big head. It's a little larger than normal, but he looks fine to me.
Are you blind? It's huge. Oh, what if he's broken? What if he's never able to speak or think any intelligent thoughts?
The baby's mom really couldn't have been more wrong. Hi, I'm Albert Einstein, and this is my story. Ever since I could remember, my parents told me I was, well, different. For starters, I hated playing with other kids and always preferred to be alone. I also didn't speak until I was 4 years old. Then when I did speak, people would act as if I'd said something strange. Like one time, Mom invited her friend over for lunch and I had an important question for her. Your arms are so thin, your skin is almost see-through, but for some reason I can't see your bones, only the color of your veins.
Get your hands off me! Does your son have no manners?
Wait, I'm just curious. I wonder what would happen if I lit a candle and shone it close to you. Do you think I'd see anything beneath your skin?
You're not making any sense, Albert, and you're being rude. Sometimes I worry there's something wrong with him.
Mom sent me to my room then, and I didn't understand what I did wrong. I just asked a question. And as time passed, I really started getting into trouble. One day, when I was 15, I was in class and I was bored to death. And when my teacher, Mr. Windsor, asked us to work in pairs, I just snapped. So we have to solve. I'm not doing this. School is dumb and I'm not letting any teacher tell me what to do. But we have to do what the teacher says. No, I've got a better idea. I convinced the guy to steal Mr. Windsor's notes and bag when he wasn't looking and sneaked out of the classroom. We ran away from school to a nearby river where I tossed my teacher's notes. This'll teach him not to make us memorize stuff until our brain hurts. Throwing those notes away felt so freeing, but my happiness didn't last for long. Mom, Dad, our principal, and the police found us, and we were toast. Albert's behavior is completely unacceptable. This has gone on too long. He pulls pranks on teachers, never pays attention in class, and now he's stealing. This is the last straw, young man. I got suspended for a week, but when I got back to school, things took a wild turn. I was sitting in class when Mr. Windsor called to the chalkboard to solve a math problem. All right, Mr. Einstein, I have an equation that even you can't mess up. All you have to do is figure out. The answer is 9.27001 over 16. Mr. Windsor looked like he was having a stroke, and all the kids started whispering. God, what had I done now? Mr. Windsor grabbed his calculator and asked me again what the answer was and how I'd gotten it because, well, it was correct. I don't know, it just popped into my head. Mr. Windsor pulled me aside after class. I completely misjudged you. Young man, you have a gifted mind. This makes so much sense. All of this is too easy for you. You're probably bored to death. I'll move you up to an advanced class and we'll give you more difficult tests. You must develop this talent. Suddenly, something inside me burst. No, I don't want to do any of that. I can't take this anymore. I know you mean well, but I can't go on like this. I quit school. I'll teach myself all this stuff. That week, I dropped out of school and my parents were horrified. I was sure they thought I was a lost cause or crazy or both. So when I was 17, I left home and went straight to university for physics. It was time to put myself and my dreams first, no matter what anyone thought. On my first day, I was walking down the hallway when I ran into a group of guys pointing and laughing at something. Hey, what's going on? See that girl over there? She's in our class. I didn't know our university allowed chicks to even walk in here. Hey, princess, why don't you go back home to cook me dinner? I'll have potatoes with extra sausage. What a jerk. Before the boy could finish, I walked over to the girl. I know those guys are acting like pigs, but at the end of the day, they don't matter. When you look at the universe, you realize how small and unimportant each one of us is. This book talks about how the earth is like the size of a... Suddenly, the girl smacked the book out of my hand.
You have no idea what I'm going through. As if some dumb book will make me feel better about the fact that everyone's treating me like a freak.
The girl stormed off and I felt bad. I found later that her name was Mileva, and the boys just wouldn't leave her alone. One morning, I saw Mileva studying in the library, and for some reason, I felt like sitting next to her. Need any help with your schoolwork?
Ugh, you again? You're everywhere. You're not following me, are you?
No, but for some reason, we keep running into each other. I also think we're a lot alike. People treat me like I'm a weirdo too, but I'm actually pretty cool and really smart.
And modest. If you're so smart, how come I'm ahead of you on the honors roll?
What was she talking about? I'd been number 1 in our class all semester, but Mileva led me to the school bulletin board, and she was the top of our class instead of me.
Congratulations, genius. You finally found someone smarter than you.
Mileva smirked at me and walked off, and I couldn't help feeling annoyed. But after that day, something changed between us. She invited me to do homework with her every day after school and even asked our professor if we could be lab partners. She still teased me nonstop, but I just knew she didn't hate me as much as she pretended. Then one day, I got a letter from Dad saying Mom was sick and asked me to come home as soon as possible. And to my shock, Mileva said she'd come with me.
I know we have finals, but you shouldn't have to deal with this alone. I'll get on the next train with you.
Mileva hugged me, and I felt my heart race. When I arrived home, I went straight up to Mom's room and she was happy to see me, especially with a girl. But Dad was furious. Albert, this is a family matter. Why did you bring this strange girl to the house all of a sudden? Dad, you don't have to be rude. She just came along for support. Well, whoever you are, you're wasting your time on my son because he's a nutcase who only ever thinks of himself. Wow. Now I remember why leaving home was the best decision ever. Tears stung my eyes as I stomped out of the room into the yard. Mileva followed me.
Albert, this was my fault. I shouldn't have invited myself to come with you. I just wanted to be there for you. I never wanted to cause any problems.
Are you kidding? You've been amazing. It's my dad who's acting like a jerk. But he is right about one thing. I do have issues, and you shouldn't waste your time on me.
Listen, I know I give you a tough time, but the truth is, you're the most brilliant and interesting guy I've ever met, and I want to take a chance on you.
Suddenly, Mileva leaned in and kissed me, and it felt like all the light in the universe filled in the space between us. After that, Mileva and I started dating, and I was on cloud 9 for the next 10 months. Then one morning, our professor called us to his desk, but Mileva wasn't in class. I didn't know why she hadn't come that day. Well, it's a shame she's not here. I have a rare opportunity. It's a research position at one of the most prestigious programs in the world, but only one of you can go. You both are equally gifted students, so I thought I should tell you both and you can decide between yourselves. I was speechless. What was I supposed to do? I told the professor I talked to Mileva, but he needed an answer right away. And so I decided to take the position. After school, I went over to Mileva's house with knots in my stomach. It turned out she was sick with a cold, and when I told her what happened, she was dead silent.
And you took the position? Just like that?
Mileva, I'm so sorry. I know a position like this would have been your dream too, but I wasn't given a chance to talk to you. I didn't have time.
Don't worry about it, Albert. I understand.
Mileva pulled me close, even though she was sick. We got married a year later and had children. We were happy, and I was thriving at my new research position, writing theses and making all kinds of discoveries in theoretical physics. But something had changed in my relationship with Mileva. There was something wrong between us, and I didn't know how to go about it. One night, I came home from work when I saw Mileva looking at me furious.
Where have you been, Albert?
I was at the university. I had to work an hour late. I'm sorry.
Well, you're never home, and I'm sick of it. You're off being a big-shot scientist, while I'm over here changing diapers.
I'm also off bringing home money for our family, and I always help you with everything when I get home. Mileva, do you want me to quit my job? What can I do differently? Mileva just fell silent. It was so obvious she was jealous of my success, and I didn't know how to help her. I tried taking her to the lab with me and watching the kids more, and even tried including Mileva in my research. But one day, Mileva dropped a bombshell on me.
I love you, Albert, but I can't do this. I'm not happy with you anymore. I want a divorce.
But why? Are you just going to resent me forever? I thought you wanted me to follow my dreams, and I'm not stopping you from following yours.
You stopped me the moment you took that job opportunity in university. I know it's in the past, and I don't want to keep resenting you. I want to remember why I fell in love with you and always see you that way. You're brilliant, Albert, and we shouldn't hold each other back anymore.
I pulled Maleva close as tears filled my eyes. That following month, we filed for divorce, and just like that, everything changed and I didn't know what would happen next. One night, I was on the train and trying to fall asleep, but this girl kept walking up and down the aisles and singing loudly while she tossed a ball up and down. Hey, kid, can you quiet down? Some of us are trying to sleep.
You're not my dad, so you can't tell me what to do.
Well, lucky for the both of us, this is my stop. I stormed off the train, grateful to get away from that brat. But as the train rode away, I saw something strange. The girl was still tossing the ball up and down, but it looked like it was moving faster and faster. And suddenly, the wheels in my mind were racing like crazy. Time moved faster when I was off the train. That was why the ball looked like it was moving slower when I was on the train. The next few months, I continued doing research, and to my amazement, my theory of relativity was proved correct. I won the Nobel Prize for Physics that year, and after that, it seemed like everyone wanted to hear what I had to say. How does it feel to make this groundbreaking discovery, Mr. Einstein? This is a historic moment, and you're a legend. I was on the front cover of every newspaper that week, and I folded a picture and sent it in an envelope to someone special, along with a letter. Dear Maleva, I finally did it. I found answers to all those questions I've been asking myself all these years about time and space and the universe. I want you to know that I couldn't have done it without you. I'm in a good place now. I'm married to an amazing woman and, well, I had my dreams come true. Even though things didn't work out between us, I never look back at the time we had with regret. I hope you're happier now. I hope you're still curious about the world and that you learn something new about it each day. Remember me like this always, and thank you for believing in me. Yours truly, Albert Einstein.
Hi, I'm Hope from Honolulu. Please like and subscribe to 4Eve. My parents always said I was born beautiful. I received so many compliments and modeling offers for baby products that they launched my modeling career when I was just 3. But I never really knew my parents. When I was 6, they started a clothing line named after me and got really busy with it. So they mostly left my older sister Leilani in charge, and she hated me.
You promised we'd play with the dolls.
You can't always be the center of the universe. I have to take this call. Fashion Kids magazine wants you again.
She'd always lie and say we'd do one thing, but we'd do another thing instead, and I'd suffer.
You said after my fashion show, we'd go home. I'm tired.
Just sign a few more autographs and don't be so ungrateful.
Sometimes I wondered if she was so mean to me because she was jealous of my fame. Once when I was 12, I was at a signing event and I escaped from the crowd. I stumbled into an alley where a girl my age was looking through the trash with her mom. I offered them some snacks from my bag, and their reaction was so wonderful. Just then, Leilani found me and dragged me away. And later, when we were on a video call with our parents, she told them what had happened. Hope, it's not okay to sneak off like that. And that poor family could have robbed you.
Or taken a lock of your hair to sell on eBay.
No, they were nice, and I liked helping them.
Nonsense. You're too busy and famous to be doing anything else. Anyway, we heard your sister booked you on a morning show for the launch of your new toy line.
Little Hope dolls. They're gonna sell like hotcakes. Sometimes it felt like my parents just used me for money. In fact, I felt people were friends with me for the same selfish reasons. But I never gave up on the idea of using my wealth for good. When I turned 14, I held my first fundraising event for homeless people, and it was a big success. But my second fundraiser turned into a complete nightmare, because the day after it, my face was all over the news with the words, "Teen Thief." Hope, they're saying you kept all the funds for your business. What? Why would they think I took all that money? The news is saying they got an anonymous tip. This can't be good for your career.
It's all over social media. They're calling it the biggest scandal of the year.
You need to stop all this charity nonsense. We need to work on saving your reputation so you won't lose out on any modeling contracts.
I didn't care if I never modeled again. I didn't understand how anyone could think I'd steal charity money. I was too embarrassed to even leave the mansion. Soon after, I was about to join a new high school, and I went to Leilani with an odd request. Help me make a disguise for high school. You're my makeup artist. If anyone can do it, it's you. Look, it's hard for me to trust people. They'll probably use me for my money and fame or spread more lies. I'd rather just go as a regular kid, so I can be active in the school's charity clubs.
You don't think you could just go as yourself?
Doubtful. I always become the center of attention without meaning to. And because of that scandal, the charity clubs might not trust me. I just want to fade into the background and do the things I care about. Please? To my shock, she agreed to the makeover. She gave me cute short hair as part of my disguise. I decided to keep my disguise a secret from my parents. They were not happy about my short hair, but my agent had advised me to take a break from modeling and stay out of the public eye anyway till the scandal died down. At home, I was Hope, the supermodel on a break. But at school, I was Minnie, the humanitarian. I joined the charity club, and the volunteer work I was doing felt amazing. And I was making friends pretty easily. But one day at school, I was lifting a heavy box of canned food donations when I suddenly threw out my back.
Whoa, are you okay?
I suddenly noticed there were two really cute guys watching me struggle to stand up straight. Guess I'm an old lady who's not used to heavy lifting. Ouch.
Let's take you to the school nurse, Granny. I'm Kai.
And I'm Crane. Here, let me take your bag. What was in that box?
Canned stuff for a food drive. Crane immediately dropped my bag to the floor.
You're part of a food drive? Not gonna help you.
What? Come on, Nan. Let's just take her to the nurse. She's hurt.
Whatever. Not my problem.
And then he just left. What was that about?
Are you seriously doing a stupid food drive, Granny?
My name is Minnie, and what's wrong with food drives?
Minnie?
Minnie.
Everything about them is wrong, Minnie. If the poor just got off their butts and worked, they wouldn't be poor. Why should we treat them like babies and take money from people who do work?
Wow. Sometimes it's hard for people to find work or earn enough, and they need help.
Maybe lame losers do. Well, Minnie, here you are.
Kai winked at me as he left. What a jerk. But I wasn't going to let his arrogant opinion stop me. I organized a school dance to raise funds for the food drive, and it was a hit. But just as I was dancing with some friends, Kai and Crane busted through the gym doors with crowns on their heads.
To the rich, stand with the rich.
What are you doing, Kai?
We're here to tell everyone the poor are pathetic and charities are scams. Don't be fooled.
Just then, Crane started kicking down the display of food donations like a maniac. Luckily, the teachers there kicked them both out before they could do more damage. What planet were these jerks from? But I forgot all about them when I got home that afternoon and saw Dad running out to me.
Didn't you check your phone, Hope?
I think the battery died. What's wrong?
Your mom and sister got into a car accident, but the doctor said they'll be okay. They both had some broken bones and will need bed rest.
I started to cry, and Dad hugged me. I couldn't remember the last time he'd done that, and I decided I'd stay home for the next few weeks to take care of Mom and Leilani. The next evening, my bodyguard drove me down to the food bank to drop off the school's donations. To my shock, I saw Kai step out of his car in front of us, and he was dropping off bags of donations. What the hot fudge? I snapped a picture of him, and I confronted Kai in the school hallway the next day. Saw you at the shelter last night.
What are you talking about?
This?
How did you... Okay, please, listen. Crane is against charity work, not me. He convinced me to think that way a long time ago, but I don't agree with him anymore. Years ago, Crane's family fell into a big scam by some fake charity, and they lost a huge fortune.
Oh no.
Yeah, his dad had to work so hard just to get them back on their feet. Now, he talks trash about all charities, and he doesn't trust the poor. He actually enjoys shutting charity work down in public. He bullied me into crashing that dance. And well, I'm sorry I did, really.
He looked really sincere. If that's the truth, I understand. But you gotta stand up to Crane sometime. You can't keep pretending to be someone you're not. Kai offered to walk me to class, but I explained I was just there to collect my books as I was homeschooling for a while. He asked for my number, and I kinda left with butterflies in my stomach. Kai and I texted every day for weeks, and he even started coming over. I kept saying it was best to give my mom and sister space to recover, so we'd always hang out in my backyard. Keeping Minnie away from my parents and Hope away from Kai was getting exhausting. I was also developing the biggest crush on the real Kai. He was nothing like the jerk I'd first met. Once I found him waiting for me in my backyard with the most amazing picnic laid out. Hey, what's all this?
Just a little surprise for your big day. Happy birthday, Minnie.
Kai, my birthday isn't for another 5 months.
What? Really? I looked for you over social media, but I couldn't find you because you're apparently the world's most private person. Then I went to go check the school records, and I guess I got the wrong Minnie.
I guess so. But thanks anyway. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. Just as I sat down, Kai opened a bottle of soda and the cork went flying straight into my eye.
Oh my god. I am so sorry, Minnie. Wait, stop rubbing your eye and let me see.
He lifted my chin gently as he looked deep into my eyes.
Your eyes, they're
Yes? They're what?
they're not the same color.
What? Suddenly I realized that my contact lens had fallen out. Oh, my lens must have popped out when I rubbed my eye. I wear them for my eyesight because I'm as blind as a bat.
I see. But why would you wear those green lenses and hide your lovely blue eyes?
His face was so close and I didn't have an answer to his question, so I just kissed him. He looked really surprised, but then he kissed me back, and it felt wonderful. Soon after, Kai and I hosted a fundraising car wash for a soup kitchen, but suddenly a car honked at us angrily.
Well, what do we have here?
Crane, listen, buddy. I know how you feel about this stuff, but I'm asking you to back off. I want to do this.
What? Support lying, dirty thieves? Did you forget what happened to my family?
Of course not. But that was one bad experience. Not all charities are scams.
It's this witch. Winnie's brainwashed you.
It's Minnie, and Kai is free to do whatever he wants, but you need to leave. Just then, Crane went red. He threw a punch at Kai, but Kai blocked it brilliantly and stepped back. Crane, walk away right now.
You better watch yourself, Winnie, or you'll end up like that stupid teen thief model who raised funds for her business. She got what she deserved. She's a forgotten fraud now, a nobody.
Suddenly, I froze in my spot. Was it possible that Crane had started that rumor? He was crazy enough to do it, and what if Kai had been involved back then too? Crane drove off angrily, and Kai turned to me.
This may be the end of my friendship with Crane, but I feel relieved.
I'm proud of how you stood up to him. Kai smiled at me warmly, but now I felt guarded. Did I fall for someone who might have framed me? Later that evening, as he drove me home, Kai suddenly took my hand.
Minnie, I love who you are and who you've helped me become. Will you be my girlfriend?
Kai, no, I can't.
What? Why? I thought you felt the same way. You kissed me.
And maybe that was a mistake. I'm sorry, but I can't be with you. Not only did I feel paranoid about trusting him, he had no idea I was Hope. I hated lies, and now I hated lying. Things were a mess. Kai begged to see me and kept messaging me, but I just ignored him until he gave up. One afternoon, I was fluffing Leilani's pillows when she asked me something unexpected.
Hope, how are you?
Not bad. Why?
Nothing. I just noticed that you looked a bit sad these days.
I kinda lost someone I cared